Hello, I'm Arielle from RevivalAcres.com, and today we're going to be talking about the new homeopathy curriculum by Paulo Brown called Teach Me Health in Homeopathy. This curriculum was just launched this summer, and I was so excited to get my hands on it, and I cannot wait to share about it with you. Now, it is written by a woman named Paulo Brown, and it is also endorsed by the Academy of Homeopathy Education. It is a one-of-a-kind, the first of its kind curriculum for homeopathy, but the beautiful thing about it, it's for the whole family. From ages pre-K, there is also a pre-K that just came out, all the way, as she says, to 96. You can do this with your family. And I love it because it does have that schoolhouse approach. And I really appreciate that all of the units and lessons line up together so that as you're working on with your youngest child, you could have a high schooler or yourself working on the same exact material, but that is age appropriate. That's what I love about it. So before I get any farther, let's just talk a little bit about what comes in a bundle. Now, a bundle is something that you'll want to purchase because you'll get all the things. And of course, you can add on more things, but everything you need to teach and to do this effectively will come in your bundle. So you'll want to get a teacher's manual, which is in your bundle. I love how this is laid out. It's laid out by lessons, and it's about a 4-page spread per lesson, depending upon what you're doing. And the beauty of this curriculum is you can go as fast as slow as you want. So I love how it's written. It's very easy to follow. As a beginner, I do use essential oils, but I've never gone into medicinal plant homeopathy. And so this is new and exciting for me, but I knew I needed help. So that's why I decided on this curriculum. It's laid out wonderfully in the teacher's manual, step-by-step guides, extracurricular or extra activities that you can do if you want. If you don't have time, that's okay. And that's one thing I love about this curriculum. It is so rich. There are so many things to do in here that you can decide to do them all, or you could not, and that's okay too. And you can come back in a few years or next year and do different ones and continue your education in homeopathy. So you'll have the teacher's manual. This right here is wonderful. I love that she did this. This is the, I wouldn't say textbook, it's more of a reader that comes with the bundle. And what you're doing is you're following Evie in this story and her family, and you're going to be discussing homeopathy methods that you can use in different plants through Evie and her story. And this is wonderfully Charlotte Mason. If you know Charlotte Mason, you love living books, this will fit the bill. And she worked with some amazing illustrators, and I just love that there are color drawings inside, and it's very applicable. It's about children, and so as you're reading it, your children are going to fall in love with the characters, they're going to fall in love with the story, and it's also going to provide a wonderful time of discussion for you and your family. So what you'll end up doing is you'll be reading through this story, and it will tell you to read part 1 of Unit 1. Now once you've read that, you'll go to your teacher's manual and you'll work through the lessons that correlate with what you just read. So this will tell you which lessons in your student notebooks you'll be doing together as a family. Now the student notebooks are broken up by level. So level 1, well, there's also a pre-K. I do not have the pre-K because that came out after, and it looks wonderful and I love it. There's level 1, grades 1 through 3. So of course this will be a little bit more basic in what you have to do. But the beauty of it is if you're doing it all together as a family, your children are going to learn so much alongside your older children. So it will tell you exactly what you need to do. So this is lesson 4. You are going to research medicine like garlic and honey. And you have materials that you're going to need. You're going to be doing some taste testing. There's some cutting and sequencing, all kinds of different things. And I just saw that the next lesson goes into the honeycomb quill. It goes into honeycombs. So it definitely builds on. So while your level 1 student is doing this book, you have your middle school students doing level 2, grades 4 through 8. And they're doing very similar things, but it's gonna be more in depth and maybe a little more writing required, Also, you can go into more research-based and journaling and things like that. So this is lesson 3, drugs have side effects. So this one, they're going to be doing more research. They'll do a little bit more than your lower level. And it walks you through different medicines that are commonly used today. And then you kind of make a list, or you can journal or write. And then level 3, grades 9 through 12. Now I'm going to be using this to help myself learn more. I might not do all the activities because of time, but I will be using this to go more in depth as I'm learning alongside my children. And that's what I love about this curriculum. Your whole family, including parents, can work through it and learn, because that's what I want. I wanted to learn personally, but if I can include my family and my children, that's even better. So again, you're going to be doing the same exact thing as whatever age you're doing, but you'll be doing more research, maybe more writing, more journaling. There's a lot of art pieces in this, so definitely more in-depth writing. And there are art pieces in this, so you'll be doing a little bit more art. As you can see right here, there's a little bit more writing if you choose to do this for your older level students. Now this might count as a health credit. You'd have to do that based on your state and your own research of that, but this could possibly count as a health credit. If you do one lesson a week, this will bring you through a whole year of lessons. Now if you do 2, it'll be 1 semester, and so on. So it's up to you how much you want to do. So those are the workbooks, except for the pre-K, which I don't have, but it looks very doable with like letter flashcards based on different medicinal plants. So you will also get in your bundle, you'll get the teacher's manual, Evie and the Secret of Small Things, and then you'll get student workbook level 1. You can choose a different level if you want, but the majority probably will be level 1. But if you want, you can do level 3, level 2, whatever you need. And then, especially with level 1, you will also get some PDF downloads. You will get invited to a Facebook group for teachers. So you'll be getting lots of extras. There's also videos online that you can access of Paola doing various experiments, or things that are art projects or things like that through video. That is super helpful if you're not artistic like me and you want to maybe just turn it on and have your kids follow other instructions. That will probably be me. So those are will be downloaded once you purchase a bundle. You will also get flashcards in your bundle. I'll probably laminate these and then cut them out so I can get a lot of use out of them. So flashcards of all the different medicinal plants you're learning about. You'll also get a memory game that you can print out and do the same thing, or print them on cardstock. And it tells you the picture of the plant and then the common name. And then this says, let's see. Now I gotta learn how to say all of these. Well, the common name is St. John's wort, is indicated for shooting pains and nerves. Sensitivity to touch will be observed with symptoms sharp and quite extreme. It's great for nerve-rich injuries. So you're actually learning how to use medicinal plants at your discretion. The thing is this, you are building a knowledge base for homeopathy that you can build on over, very classical with building pegs of homeopathy knowledge. And then you can decide as a family what you need and what you'd like to use. So that brings me to another point. People might ask, what method or philosophy does this curriculum follow? And I think it's a beautiful blend of Charlotte Mason, especially because of the living text that comes with it. And the activities, it's very hands-on. You do a lot of journaling, art journaling, so painting, all kinds of different types of artwork. And or you can do writing, journaling, which probably what I will do more of. So there's lots of hands-on in nature, finding plants if you want, if you can, depending upon where you live. Charlotte Mason inspired, but it's also very classical. And I believe Charlotte Mason and classical, they just blend so perfectly together. And it's classical because if you choose to purchase, you can get memory work songs that go with each week's what you're trying to remember. And there is copy work which is very, very Charlotte Mason, and you can even do it as dictation. So here, tell me about antibiotics and steroids. Now that is a very classical statement in order to like repeat after you. If you're in different classical communities, that's something you'll, like one we just did was tell me about the Dutch Revolt. So then your student will repeat a sentence that is about the Dutch Revolt. Well, in this instance, it's all homeopathy sentences. So she includes copywork about these memory sentences, and they include cursive, which I love because I have one student who wants to learn cursive, but then she also includes print copywork. So it's very important within the Charlotte Mason method to have copywork, and you can also use this as dictation, and that is for the older levels. There obviously wouldn't be tracing paper. There would be just blank paper for them to recite, to dictate, however you decide to do it back to you, which is really important. I would say this is a beautiful blend of various philosophies, particularly Charlotte Mason and classical, which is right up my alley. So that was another reason why I loved it. So again, you can choose to purchase the memory work. Now that would be through iTunes or whatever, Google Play Music, whatever platform you're using, if you choose to do that. If not, you don't have to, and you can just memorize the sentences or do whatever you want with them. So that is also part of the program. And I also wanted to say that you'll get a download when you use level 1 of these domino cards to play a game, and there's point values and they match, there's different things that you match up with the domino cards to play. So these are worth 2 points or however you're gonna do it. I haven't quite researched how we're gonna play this yet, but I think it'll be a lot of fun and my kids are gonna love that. There's some hands-on fun game activities that you can choose to do. So one thing I did wanna point out, which I really appreciated in the teacher's manual and in EV and the Secret of Small Things, there's like a frequently asked questions section, which I think is really important, especially a lot of families don't have a basic knowledge of homeopathy. This is where it's going to begin. And I think that's really important that there is a question section where you can probably find something that you're wondering about, and she answers it beautifully. And you can always email them as well if you have a specific question. Feel free to ask me a question. I can try to answer it for you, or I can point you in the right direction for sure. So I really love that there's teaching tips in here. Now you won't read part of the EV every time, but when you do, there'll be discussion questions that you can ask that are already written out for you, so you don't have to think of questions on your own if you don't want to. But I do love what she says here of when you ask questions about narration, and if you are a Charlotte Mason homeschooler, you know what narration is. But I think it's really important what she says. When a student is narrating back to you, try not to interrupt them. Anyone, sometimes I've had to learn not to do that. Interestingly, this process is similar to homeopathic case taking. The reason you shouldn't interrupt too much is because the child is learning as they're talking to you. They may make mistakes as they try to formulate their thoughts, but let them work it out as they express to you what they learned. Additionally, you don't want students to simply parrot back what you read to them. They need to create meaning by explaining what they learned in their own words. Once again, this parallels homeopathic case taking. So I did not know that about homeopathy, but in narration, so it's really important. So you have discussion questions. She even gives you permission if you need it to skip lessons. I know there might be some in here that are a little too complex for my students. I have younger students. We're only going to be in level 1 of the workbooks. So other than what I want to do in the level 3. So we might skip a lesson if we need to, and then in a couple years, because you own the curriculum, you can come back to it and maybe go more in depth. It also tells you lengths. If you need to take breaks, take breaks. Then she also recommends, which is very Charlotte Mason, to have something for them to be working with their hands as they're reading through, or as you're reading aloud to them. And also, if your voice gets tired like mine does from reading aloud, there is an audiobook version of EV. So if you need that, you can purchase that as well as an extra. And then there's also an online teaching area where like I said before, you can access videos and helpful tips and hints. She also has an Instagram page if you want to go in there. And I will also be posting weekly our lessons of what we're learning in a picture or something and helpful hints or whatever as we're working through. And my Instagram is at Revival Acres Homeschool. And we'll be working through this entire course. Now, originally I thought I was only going to take probably 16 weeks, but when I was looking through it, one thing, like I said, that surprised me is how rich the curriculum is. There's so many things in this curriculum, and I don't want to rush through it because I think it will help us really learn, and we can go off and research more in depth and maybe apply what we're learning. So I don't want to rush through it. So I think we're going to take at least a year to get through this, especially because of my children's ages, so that we can learn and apply as we go. So that's totally up to you. So I'll probably be doing a 1 lesson a week and be working through it. So follow me on Instagram if you want to see as I go. I also wanted to mention that if you choose to purchase a bundle, use the coupon code Revival Acres, and that will get you $27 off your bundle, which I think is a great deal. And again, you can build your bundle however you need, but you will definitely need a workbook of whatever age level or workbooks, and you'll need teacher's manual and the EV story. So that is the Teach Me Health and Homeopathy. If you have any questions or anything that you would like to see more in depth of these books or texts or curriculum, please don't hesitate to ask. Find me on Instagram. You can email me, or you can just comment below, and I'd love to answer them for you. I highly recommend this curriculum. And I love that there's so much. This could count as like a science credit for you, for your younger kids. This could count as an art credit for you, for your younger kids, because you're art journaling. There's so much. You could do it as like a nature study if you want to go look for these plants. I think this curriculum is beautifully done. I think it will be effective for if you do it as a family, more effective than just the mom learning it. I think kids hold us accountable. So if they're learning about maybe changing up some of the medicines in your medicine cabinet, and they're thinking about how may I apply this knowledge that I'm learning to real life, they might encourage you to do that as you're learning together as a family. If you've fallen in love with what you've seen, please go to the link below and type in Revival Acres for a coupon code on your bundle, and you'll get $27 off. And follow me on Instagram, and you'll see as we work through this together.